how to handle this anger. So, in my last video, I spoke to you about the internal system that causes the anger. I've explained to you the problem. Today I'm going to explain to you how do you handle and how do you deal with this problem. This is Teacher Grandma, a teacher for 34 years and a grandmother of two pretty little girls. So, we have discussed that the amygdala comes into play during anger. The amygdala is the irrational brain. And there are three ways that we find people usually deal with anger. The first one are the stuffers. And why do I call them the stuffers? Is because they stuff that anger down, they control that anger, hoping that our anger will go away. So they are the ones that keep quiet when there is an angry situation. The second type of people are the nursers. So they are the ones who nurse the anger, they roll it in their head, and rolling it around so much, overthinking the anger, finally leads them to being bitter. And the third ones are the ones that vent it out. They are ready for a good fight, they are ready to deal with the anger, they are ready to take whatever action is needed when they are angry. So they are the ones who will bash up somebody, or they are the ones that will break things in the house because they are angry. Now these are the three ways that anger can continue to be a problem for you. I want to always look at things in a positive light. And so I say anger is good. And why do I say anger is good? Because anger is a signal for you that something is not okay. Anything that is teaching you that something is not okay is good for you because it is giving you some direction. Anger is a defense mechanism. It is our way of defending ourselves. Now, what can I do when I find myself in an angry situation? Do not continue in that situation. Take yourself out of that situation. So walk away if it is something that's happening between husband and wife or between you and your children. Take yourself away from the situation. Why? Because now whatever is going to come out of your mouth, whatever action you are going to take, remember the lizard is at work. So it's not going to be logical. You're going to say things which later on you will repent having said. So take yourself away from the situation while informing that person that I am too angry now, or you are too angry now, I cannot deal with it. That is the first step. Now remember, I said that the hypothalamus releases adrenaline and cortisol, and so your arms and your feet are strong. There's glucose in your system, and so there's sugar and energy in your system. So there is this energy and there is this power within you. And in order to bring down your anger, you should spend out that energy. So if you are a guy who wants to do some exercise, go for a walk, go for a jog, run 4-5 times around your building. Spend that energy that the body has developed and that you are holding on to. If you're a woman and you are a person who likes to would like to do some housework, probably get into the bathroom and take all your anger out on the tiles in your bathroom, or wash the vessels. There is energy in your arms. So the second thing you can do is spend out that energy. Once that energy is spent out, the body comes back into normality. The body comes back into its original logical form. When the body comes back into its original logical form, think. introspect. Become aware of the situation. Become aware of the trigger. Become aware of your reaction. Become aware of your feelings. And become aware of the consequence. These are 5 things I'm asking you to do. The situation, the trigger, the reaction, the feelings, and the consequence. I would go one step further and I would say, do some positive self-talk. Do some affirmation, positive affirmations. I am good. I am kind. I am understanding. I am wise. I am wisdom. I am joyful. Keep on telling this to yourself. I am enough. Because all this is going to help you to calm yourself and to now think about how you're going to deal with the problem. If the problem is not an emergency, delay making a decision because we are not making a good decision. Remember, the lizard is still at work. So we are not making a good decision. Delay your decision making, but don't delay it indefinitely. Remember, you got to finally at the end of the day deal with the problem. So I am not telling you to run away. The first thing I told you is take yourself out of the situation. I did not want to tell you to run away from the situation. You are not running away from the situation. You are taking yourself out of the situation because whatever now goes on during the period of being angry with each other, bad things are going to happen out of it. So take yourself out of the situation and say, I will come back to deal with it a little later when I'm calmer. So there are things that listen to some music, bring yourself back to normality. Your anger could be a result of a past unresolved situation. So maybe when you were young, you had a father who constantly beat you, or a parent that constantly compared you to someone else, and that developed this anger within you. There may have been a situation where, say for example, you made a mistake and you were given a merciless beating or a merciless punishment. Now these are angers and situations that you have kept, and remember at the start I told you, the second one is the one who nurses the anger, and the one who nurses the anger, it turns to bitterness. So if you have these kind of angers which are a result of a past situation, maybe you need some counseling. Maybe you need to sit down and talk to a counselor so that a counselor can give you direction and understanding of how to deal with this situation. At the end of the day, you have to take responsibility for your anger. Find constructive ways of dealing with your anger. Use the skill of assertiveness and confrontation in a positive way. Understand in anger that the other person always has a positive intention. And if you can understand the positive intention of the other person, so say for example your dad gave you a merciless beating. The positive intention of your dad was he wanted you to be a better person. If you understand the positive intention of the other person, you get closer to understanding your anger and to putting your anger to rest. Forgive yourself and be kind to the person that is angry with you. And so I say, accept your part in that situation. Anger doesn't come out just out of nothing. Accept your part. And if it is your partner that you are angry with, apologize. It costs you nothing to agree. Because an apology from both sides mends the relationship. Find ways to control your anger. Watch this video a second time if you've not been able to pick up everything that I have taught in this video. Every situation that we find ourselves in are situations that we can learn to do, to go through in a positive way. This is Teacher Grandma saying bye-bye and hoping that you have learned a positive way to deal with your anger.